When I was even younger than you are right now, one of my favorite toys to play with was G.I. Joe. And I was so excited in the afternoons to come home from school and catch new episodes of the TV show that went along with the toy line. But my imagination was so big that I would often find myself taking my G.I. Joe toys and combining them with my other toys, and in my mind creating my very own epic adventure story that was all about a group of soldiers pulled through a dimensional portal who wound up in this crazy mixed up cross world full of hoverboarding aliens, ninja assassins, cyborg warriors, and talking dinosaurs. See, that was a story that could have only existed in my imagination, and my imagination knew no limits. I bet you have a big imagination too. This week at Preteen Camp, you're going to be hearing a lot about this God who is so amazing, so big, so powerful, but yet took the time to design a plan for your life, just for you. Now, I want you to take that big imagination of yours and I want you to do me a favor. Can you do this? I want you to draw a picture in your mind of God. What does he look like? Is he our size, or is he ginormous? Is he happy and smiling, or stern and serious? What does he sound like? Is his voice soft and gentle, or loud and thunderous? I often think about what it'll be like one day to meet God. What will I say, though? What kind of questions will I ask? Will he stand and look me eye to eye? Or will he literally hold me in the palm of his hand? I don't know the answers to those questions, but I do know this. This God that we're talking about, he has always existed. He was never born. He was never created. He's just always been. And as good as my imagination is, I still have trouble wrapping my head around that idea. This very same God who literally created time itself, created the stars, the sun, the moon, the planets, the galaxies, the entire universe as we know it. And then he filled our planet with every living thing and gave every living thing a purpose and a design. And then he created his masterpiece, the human being. And within that human being, he made every cell and every organ and every function that was needed for life, for that person, for that human to thrive. What an awesome imagination God must have. And to think that this same God, who did all of these things and more, he took the time to think about you and me. And in his amazing power and goodness, he made sure that we were born at just the right time, in just the right place, surrounded by just the right people, to make his dreams for us a reality. I don't know about you, but I think that's incredible, and it makes me feel pretty special to know that God loves me that much. This week at Preteen Camp, our theme is unsearchable, and that comes from a Bible verse called Psalm chapter 145, verse 3. And here's what it says: "Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable." That means that our God is so mind-blowingly awesome that it's impossible to understand or even imagine just how great he really is. Another translation says it this way: his greatness no one can fathom or understand. Or how about this version of the same verse: no one can measure his greatness. Or this one: there are no boundaries to his greatness. But of all the different translations, I think this one may say it the simplest: Lord, you are great. You really are worthy of praise. No one can completely understand how great you are. Sometimes the world around me feels so dark and so scary. Do you ever feel that way too? When you find yourself being afraid or helpless or feeling alone, I want you to remember that my God is also your God, and he really does love you. And if you believe in him and you trust him, then you have the right to call him your Father. And just knowing that our Father, the same one who created time and the entire cosmos, he has our back. That makes it a little easier for us to face the challenges and the fears that we may come up against. We know that no matter how big God really and truly is, he's always going to be bigger than the biggest problems or fears that we'll ever face, and we don't have to face them alone. Can you imagine that?